Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. In this video, we are going to make a fighting game AI. So let's have a look at the demo.
Okay, so we have our game over here. Towards left is us, the player, and towards right is the enemy, or we can say the AI. At the top, you can see two bars. The green one represents our health and the red one represents the AI's health. Now, there are two actions in this game, which are blocking and attacking. The AI is currently attacking, and the player, I, am currently blocking that. So there are two keyboard commands for this. A is for attacking and S is for blocking. Other than that, we can also move our players left or right. Okay, so now let's see this in action. Let's start attacking the enemy and see how he behaves. Since we have lost all our health, we are the ones that lose this game and the AI wins. Now, this is a very simple game and it is made in such a way that the AI will most certainly always win. The enemy AI was toggling between two actions. It was either attacking and even blocking. Now, let's see how the enemy AI was deciding which action should it take.
Alright, so in the demo, the enemy AI was powered by an artificial intelligence technique called fuzzy logic. And we are going to discuss that in this video. Now, in order to understand fuzzy logic, we first need to understand what is Boolean logic. So let's have a look at that first. Now, given a set of input statements or sequences, the reasoning that we do on these input sequences is called logic. In Boolean logic, this reasoning on input statements is done by means of only two parameters, which can be either true or false. In more computer sciencey terms, we can say Boolean logic revolves around the problem that whether a given thing belongs to a set or it does not belong to a set. Let's understand this using an example. So let's consider that we have a car that can adjust its speed. So if the speed of the car is less than 40, we consider that car as slow, and if the car has a speed of greater than 40, then we consider it as a fast moving car. Graphically, it looks something like this. For speeds less than 40, the car is considered slow, and the speed greater than 40, the car is considered as fast. Relating this to our previous definition, we can say that at any point of time, the car either belongs to the set of slow cars or the car belongs to a set of fast cars. So this kind of logic where the objects are either they are or either they are not works well for a number of different problems. But for some problems, this framework has its limitations. Even in the car example, we can observe one such limitation. Consider that the car has a speed of 39.9. Now, would we consider that as a slow moving car or as a fast moving car? According to our definition, the car would fall in the slow moving cars range. But it doesn't feel actually right to put it in the slow moving car because it is near to the fast car and we are putting it in the slow car. We can observe a similar variant when the speed is, we can say, 40.01. We can consider it a fast car, but according to definition, we can also consider it a slow car as well. So we can see that Boolean logic is not very well applicable to these boundary conditions or so. Therefore, we have another framework that is similar to Boolean logic, which we call fuzzy logic. So what is fuzzy logic? Now, in computer sciencey terms, the question that we ask in fuzzy logic is how much does a given element belong to a certain set? Considering a range of 0 and 1, 0 means that the element does not belong to the set at all, and 1 means that the element belongs to the set completely. The middle values describe how much percentage of that element is contained inside that set. Using this logic, an element at any particular point of time can belong to two sets at once. Let's have a look at the same car example that we had before. Now this is the graph that shows that car example like that we had. If the speed of the car is less than 40, then we consider that the car belongs to the set of slow cars. But once the speed crosses 40 and goes on till 50, the membership of the car in the slow set decreases linearly. And starting from 40 till 50, the membership of the car linearly increases in the fast set. To give an example of that, consider this point P1 where the speed is something less than 40, we can say 10. Then the membership of the car in the slow and fast set is 1 and 0 respectively. At some point P2, we can say approximately 45, the membership of the car in the slow set and the fast set is 0.7 and 0.3 respectively. Now using this framework, we are able to incorporate some flexibility, or we can say uncertainty, into our measurements over here. Now fuzzy logic is a very good framework and it is used quite a lot, but it also has its limitations. One such key limitation is that the definition of slow and fast is still defined by us humans. This set membership function that we have is defined by us. We are the ones who decide that the speeds less than 40 are slow and the speeds that are greater than 40 should be considered as fast. So all the decisions that this AI can take is based on the knowledge that is represented by us programmers. Okay, so now let's see how this fuzzy logic is being applied to our enemy AI. So our enemy AI fuzzy logic depends on two parameters, which are its own health and the opponent's health, or we can say the player's health. First off, we designed two behaviors for the enemy AI that are offensive or defensive. Offensive actions involve, in the red color over here, that it is to go towards the player and attack him. Defensive, black colored line over here, makes the AI to go away from the player and keep blocking the attacks. And these offensive and defensive behaviors are the fuzzy sets that we are using. So in this graph, opponent health, or we can say the player's health, if the player's health has a large amount, then the AI should completely follow the offensive behavior. Once the player's health reduces by some amount, we are going to introduce some amount of defensive behavior in this area. Around in the middle, when the player has an average amount of health, the AI should follow a defensive behavior over here. And when the player has lost a good amount of health, then the AI should follow an offensive behavior till the very end. In human terms, this encodes that the AI should fight when the player has a large amount of health, and it should also fight when the player has a lower amount of health because it has a chance of winning. But somewhere in the middle, it should start following defensive behavior. Now let's see how the AI's own health affects its behavior. When it has a large amount of health, the AI is following an offensive behavior right over here. And when it has lost a significant amount of health, it should follow a defensive behavior. And in the middle, we have their merging, as to say. Now, as I said before, these two membership functions are completely arbitrary. Changing these would lead to a different behavior altogether. And these may also not be the most optimal membership functions to use. You are free to use on your own. Okay, so once we obtain the fuzzy variables from these two membership functions, which are f1 and f2, we combine them linearly. 0.25 times f1 plus 0.75 times f2. How this works? We multiply the offensive behavior of f1 with 0.25 and the offensive behavior of f2 with 0.75, add them up and get a new offensive behavior. We do the same thing for defensive behavior, multiply that by 0.25 of f1 defensive behavior and multiply that by 0.75 of the f2 defensive behavior. Add them up and get a new defensive behavior from that. Offensive behavior and defensive behavior represent the membership values that we had in this case. Once we have this new fuzzy variable, that is the linear combination, then we need to calculate the probability of taking an offensive behavior or defensive behavior. How we do that? The probability of taking the offensive behavior should be given by the offensive behavior of f divided by the sum of the offensive behavior and the defensive behavior. This probability of taking offensive behavior also represents the probability of not taking the defensive behavior. Using this probability, the enemy AI decides whether it should take the offensive path or it should be on a defensive path. In terms of implementation, this means that we generate a random number from 0 till 1. We compare the value of the randomly generated number with this probability value over here. If the randomly generated value is less than the probability over here, then the AI will take a defensive action. If the number is greater than this probability, then the AI will take an offensive action. In addition to this, we also apply some smoothing techniques over the enemy AI. Smoothing techniques such as, once the AI has decided to take a certain action, offensive or defensive, it needs to continue following that behavior till some certain amount of steps. Let's say 100 time steps. This way, the enemy AI will take actions that span over a longer period of time rather than fluctuating between offensive or defensive. Alright, so this is all for the discussion of the fuzzy logic AI that we saw in the demo. Now let's see how the implementation was done for this.
Okay, so first let's have a look at the offensive and the defensive behaviors that we discussed. This is the function for the offensive behavior. We calculate the positions of the player and the AI. If we have some amount of distance between us and the AI, then the AI is going to move towards us, which we can see is being done over here. Update position and animation 0. Animation 0 is the walking animation that you saw. When the enemy is in close range of us, then it can start attacking us, which we can see in the else block over here. We are changing the players or our health by minus 0.01. And we are applying animation 0. Animation 0 is the punching animation that you saw. Let's have a look at the defensive behavior as well. Now, if the enemy has not yet reached towards the end, as we can say the right end, the AI will keep moving towards the right. As we can see over here, update position 0.1 and animation 0, which is the walking animation. Once it has reached towards the end of the window, then we are applying enemy.block equals true and animation 2. Animation 2 is the blocking animation. Now let's have a look at the membership functions as well. Now this is the player health membership. This membership function depends on the player's health. We have this offensive points and defensive points. And this is the complete implementation or code for the membership function that we discussed. If health is less than 20, then we apply offensive points 1. If it is between 20 and 40, then we do this linear function. If it is greater than 80, then we simply give offensive points as 1. If it's between 80 and 60, then we again apply a linear function. Otherwise, that is between 40 and 60, we apply offensive points equals 0. Similarly, we have a similar implementation for defensive points as well. Then we generate a pair of result, that is offensive points and defensive points. These are the fuzzy variables. And then we finally return the result. And this is a similar function for the enemy health membership, which is the membership function for the AI's health. If the health is less than 25, then offensive points are 0. If the health is between 25 and 75, then we have a linear function. Otherwise, if it is greater than 75, then we have offensive points equals 1. A similar thing is done for defensive points. Then we generate the fuzzy variables in this pair and finally return the result. Now let's have a look at the function that does all the things and decides which action should the AI take first. Now this if statement is describing the action inertia, the smoothing technique that I discussed before. Now action inertia over here is set to a value of 300. So for 300 time steps, the AI will keep on taking the same action without choosing to change the action. Once 300 time steps have passed, then the enemy AI will decide another action to take. All right, so when the AI has to decide which action to take next, then it calculates the fuzzy variables first. the player from the player health membership function and from the enemy health membership function. Then we do the linear combination that we discussed, 0.25 times fuzzy set 1 plus 0.75 times fuzzy set 2. And then we generate the attack probability. And similar to what we discussed, we generate a random number and compare it with the attack probability, which then decides whether we should be playing on an offensive behavior or a defensive behavior. And if the AI has not yet reached its action inertia, then we simply take the previous action that was taken, which is done using this prev action variable over here. All right, so this is all the implementations that we had for the enemy AI. It's interesting to note that using such simple code, we were able to make an AI decide on its own whether it should keep fighting or it should back off and defend itself. All right, so this is all what we had for this video. If you like the video, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel for more such videos. And thank you for watching. Bye.